I love our papaya. Papaya is such an amazing, wonderful tropical fruit, but I've got a problem at the moment because I have managed to kill our only papaya that was bearing fruit. How did I do this? Well, let me tell you, it was pretty easy, really. This papaya tree that I've managed to kill is in our vegetable garden. So I was just weeding around at the base of the papaya a while ago in preparation for planting some brassicas here, some cauliflowers. And I've managed to hit one of the roots of the papaya and thought nothing much of it. It was fairly thick but didn't look that substantial, so I cut it out. And within a week, our dear papaya tree had started to wither and die. It did have quite a few fruit on it. We'd enjoyed some from this tree already, but I've discovered that the roots are incredibly sensitive, so you've got to look after them. I really do like having a papaya tree or two in our vegetable garden. I've got another one down here. It doesn't look very happy either, unfortunately, at the moment, but I've been gentle with the roots on this one, and it's still looking a bit sad. Papaya have got very shallow root systems. They don't really send down a tap root. The roots spread out and they are soft. They are really lightweight. These things are quite fibrous and the roots are quite fibrous as well, but very, very sensitive, which means that they're not really ideal in a vegetable garden, but I do like them though because they give a good amount of shade. The leaves are usually spread out higher up and tight around the single trunk, and this provides a nice bit of shade in the vegetable garden, but I'm just going to have to rethink things a little bit to ensure that we're getting fruit from them and that they're not just dying as I dig in my vegetable garden. But we do have some more down here, down the back. This is where I was standing before. So I've got this whole area down here that we're still planning and not sure exactly what we're doing. So papaya are a natural thing to want to plant, and they do grow easily, they do grow abundantly. These ones here are just beginning to show flowers, and this looks like it's got some fruit starting as well. So here's one with a nice flower coming out. And so down here there is an abundance. We've got plenty down here, and that's good. So it'll take a little bit of time for these ones here to start to bear fruit, and in the meantime I'll just keep looking after them. We don't need to be disturbing the roots or anything down here. They're doing quite fine, and I will keep looking after them and feeding them. Papaya do like a good amount of potassium, so I will soak some banana skins and water them with that water, and I'll also be continuing to give them our photosynthetic bacteria plant food and compost and our other organic nutrients that we feed our plants. I'll keep them well mulched. I'll keep them reasonably well watered, but not too well watered. They are here planted in holes that have got really good draining soil, and we're in the dry season, so they're not susceptible to having wet feet. They don't like to have wet feet, and because they're shallow rooted, they don't like to be in a windy area. So we're going to have to prop these ones up because a few times a year we get a good wind blowing through here. So I'll just have to use some bamboo and help stake them up a bit. And also when they are fruiting, this becomes a problem because they get so top heavy, they get so much fruit on them that they have been known just to fall over. Around the base, if it's too wet in the ground, they don't have the root structure to be able to hold all the weight of the fruit, so they just collapse. I had one years ago. Our first good producing papaya was up near the house, and one day after a good rainstorm I came out the next morning and it had fallen over, and I got a whole wheelbarrow full of fruit off it. Some of it ripened up, some of it didn't, so the rest of it ended up in the compost. So there's a few tips about growing papaya well. Don't disturb the roots. Be really gentle with the roots once they're growing. Keep them watered, but not too well watered, and feed them well with some potassium. And if you're in a windy area, prop them up with something to help sustain them so that when they're bearing a full load of fruit, they're not going to fall over in a strong wind. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, click that like. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And to watch something else that's interesting from our channel here, please check out this video next. Thanks very much for watching.